guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Lori. I am the creator behind Stitch and Moan. And if you've hung out with me before, welcome back. This week we are tackling some more market prep. And this is for my first outdoor market, which I have talked about previously, and I'm terrified. I will be doing setup with my tent and my whole setup by myself. And there is no, day before load-in date. It's setup time is from 8 to 10, and it's like first come, first serve. This place it's in Nashville. And if you know anything about Nashville, you know about Nashville traffic. I'm nervous about setup, and I'm nervous about having enough, of course, because, we're always terrified that we're not going to have enough. This is for the spring vendor event for the Catio Cat Lounge in Nashville, which I've never been there because I have two little monsters of our own, so I don't really need to go look at more cats because I don't need to be left unsupervised with kittens or cats or anything that could fit in a pocket of a shirt or jacket, a purse, a bag, whatever, and accidentally come home with me. So I always like to try to kind of cater some of my makes to what the market is going to be. Like for my Halloween events, I obviously do Halloween. For my reptile shows, I'll do snakes and lizards, turtles, and things like that. So since this is this is being hosted at a cat shelter, I thought I would do some cats and things that my cats like to chirp at, pretty much. So the first thing that I made, and I'm hoping that I have time to make a few more, is the Cranky Kitty from Snuggle Beans. I know this was everywhere a few weeks ago. I'm so in love with this. Look how mad she is. Like, she is just unhappy with you. Like, that is not a face that I want to meet in a dark alley. I'm sorry. Cranky Kitty is very upset. So I think I want to do a couple more of these. I only have 2 more sets of eyes. I painted these. They're just some glitter, and then I did like a couple coats of glow-in-the-dark paint behind it. I don't know if you can actually see that though. But that, like the face and the fact that she made the head where you can sew it on in different orientations, so she can be looking down on you, she can be turning your head, and like just now I'm wondering if I should even sell her. No, Cranky Kitty needs a home. So anyway, I made one of these, and I was really looking around for another cat pattern. I wanted, to have the floppy limbs, and I've been like itching to design my own. I know there are 1,000 million cat patterns out there, but for me, something that's important is that I want to design patterns for things I love. And if you know me, you know I am a crazy cat lady, so I want to do my own cat. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have the time to really sit down and write and design a pattern for next Saturday. I'm doing good just to have these makes made, but that is hopefully going to come later in the year. In the meantime, I do have 3 loaf cats left. When I did my market in April, I saw a ton of these walking around. Bigger ones, fun colors, different patterns, fun, whatever. I have a black one left and 2 gray ones. And then these are from Annie Caraway Art, of course. I did her Calico Cat pattern on YouTube, from YouTube, just the tutorial. I was itching to make a Calico Cat. Don't ask why. And I did like the opposite feet. I'm pleased with how it turned out. It's cute. I'm also planning on donating a portion of my sales back to the cat shelter because they are having some problems right now. They are actually in danger of closing, and we can't let that happen. So I am going to be making a few more of these in hopes that, they are, they do appeal to most people, and they'll sell, and then I can donate that, donate some of the proceeds back. But I think what I'm going to do is I might make a few more in this size. I'm not sure. And I might do a couple more in the smaller size, but do some like really fun colors. I might do like a pink and purple with a white body. And then since rats are my best seller consistently, I am making some more rats. I went and pulled a ton of my catch yarn, my velvet yarn, which is what I like to use for my rats. Pulled a ton of those so I can have like different colors, because I do plan on having, I only had 4 at my last show and I wish I had more. I just didn't have the time to make any more. So I made one, I made like up to its little shoulders, and I honestly was like, I have to find a new pattern right now. So I looked around and I found this little guy. This is the Dumbo Rat pattern from Lemon Bun Crochet on YouTube. It's a free tutorial, but she also has the free pattern on her Instagram. And I thought he was just adorable. I really liked how this turned out. Like, he's super cute. And it took like maybe 40 minutes, and that was, you know, fighting for my life with Sweet Snuggles Light to make 3 magic rings here. So I made him, and then I immediately made a dark gray one, but I added one more round in his body to make him a little bit longer. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, you can definitely tell. And I made his tail a little bit longer too. So now typically I don't like, one of the things that I don't really like about the other rat patterns that are floating around out there, I don't like, and also goes for the same for the possums, I don't like when their nose starts in the pink and then goes into the body, because I think the nose is too big. And for this guy, it doesn't bother me. Maybe it's just because after I started making that other rat, because I would embroider the noses on my other ones and sew the ears in, it's like, I don't know that I have it in me to do that. I want this to be as low or no sew as possible. And then I saw this, and I first made it without the pink nose, and I just made his head. You know what? We'll give it a try. But I ended up really liking it. So I have these 2, and I'm going to make, I have enough to make more of the light gray. I don't have enough to make any more dark gray, which kind of stinks, because this is always the best seller because of Remy. Also, if you haven't seen Ratatouille yet, you really need to, because it is a super cute movie. So let's see. And then this week I also made 3 pigeons, because I thought having pigeons there would just be too fun. And this guy, he was another under an hour, and that's like gross over exaggeration. It was probably like under 45 minutes or something. This is not my normal style. I typically like to do things that have more detail to them, but I really wanted to have a pigeon, and I want it to be a certain size, and this met my requirements. This is another free tutorial from YouTube from Annie Caraway Art. And I used Sweet Snuggles for his stripes. And I'm pretty happy with how these turned out. Very happy, actually. And like I said, I made 3 of these. And then I started doing this a couple weeks ago. I had planned on taking it with me to my last market, making a couple of these, but I didn't get around to it. But I made a little ladybug. She's almost finished. The free pattern from All From Jade. So I'm going to make a few more of these, because we know I love my bugs. And then also from All But Jade, All From Jade, I made 2 of these little fish last night. I don't know how many more fish I'm going to make. I've got 3 more over here that are from a different designer. These I thought were adorable. I might make a few without the safety eyes so they can be kid friendly, because look how tiny they are. They're like perfect for little tiny hands. I don't want to make a whole lot of them, because I don't want to be stuck with them if they don't sell. And then the other fish pattern that I did is the goldfish, which is another free one from Darling Maple Designs. And I've done her patterns several times, and they are fun to make. They're quick, and they're adorable. but I used like the wiggle eye. I got those from Hobby Lobby a long time ago because I was going to do something else with them, and I ended up not liking it, but I think they're perfect for this little guy. Sadly, I only have 3 of them because I ran out of this yarn. So let's see what else. Because my bearded dragons were so popular at my last market, I decided to make some more. But this time, I started in an 8mm. He's going to be big. So this one is with an 8mm hook so far with that Bernat that's really thick. I mean, you could look at this. Like, look at that. That's crazy thick. Let's compare it to just a white. I don't know if you can really see, but it's very thick, and it, like, my hands hurt the entire time I was making that thing. So, but that's what we have so far right now. I plan on making more rats and cats, as many bearded dragons as I can. I'm probably gonna just do the red this time because that seems to be like the most popular one. I started also a while back making my little possum for my customer that didn't get to buy the one at the market. So that's where we are right now. I have a very long weekend ahead of me, and I'm not going to be able to crochet Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. So that leaves Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, four days, super, to finish up whatever inventory I plan on having. And I've got to do my mock setup because this is going to be, like I keep saying, this is my first outdoor market. So I have a completely new setup that I'm going to be trying. So I have to try to figure that one out. So I'm hoping that's all what Friday is like display day and getting all of that stuff ready. I checked earlier. My tent has not shipped yet. I ordered it Monday, I think. It said that it was not going to be here until May 6th. My market is May 9th. I've never put up a tent before. I've watched enough YouTube videos to know that, like, it's really easy, and I got one of those one-person center pop-up tents. I'm still, you know, kind of nervous that I don't have that practice, and I don't have it here to actually look at it and get a feel for it. So I wonder how many more times I'm going to talk about how nervous I am for this during this video and the next one. Probably a lot. Okay, I am going to figure out what I want to work on next. Actually, I'm going to take a break. I have to run out and grab something for dinner. My husband and my son went out fishing, so I have a couple of hours tonight by myself. I hope, I don't know. And I plan on sitting downstairs and having girl dinner and hopefully watching Weapons. I have not seen that yet, and I've really wanted to see it for a while. Like, also, I can't remember if I ever said this or not, but I considered starting a Patreon just to, like, and pretty much what the videos would be like me crocheting and talking about, like, watching a horror movie or like a show or true crime, something like that. I don't know. I don't really get to watch a lot of TV at night, so I don't know when I would ever get to do stuff like that, but I thought that that would be fun because, you know. I am going to go get ready to figure out dinner and watch as much of this movie as I can, because I don't think my husband really cares about seeing this one. We're going to watch Sinners together hopefully soon, but I don't know that he's really interested in this one, and I have to see it. So, all right, well, I will check back in at another time. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back. We're going to wrap it up. This is the last few days before another one of my markets. You know, I've got the market on Saturday. I did find out this morning that there is going to be another crocheter there, so now that makes 3, including me. So I'm a little, I don't want to say worried about it, but, you know, there are just so many of us, and that's fine because for the most part, we all do different things from what I've seen. I do know that one of them is going to have a lot of cats, and I found this out after I spent like all day yesterday making loaf cats. I've mentioned before, I think that I'm not going to do any more loaf cats, especially after this market, because I just don't, It's not that I don't like them. It's just, there are a lot of them. That is kind of like a go-to. And if I'm going to have a cat pattern, I mentioned I wanted to write my own. I didn't have time. I want it to be something different. But I did make some yesterday because I want them to sell, because I'm donating some of my sales back to the shelter. I think I mentioned before, they are in danger of closing. And I think one of the news stations around here did some kind of story on them and talked about the vendor event for this weekend on the news. So I saw like a bunch of comments of people saying that they were going to come. So it might be busy. I'm hoping it's busy. But again, I'm going to be there by myself. And last time it was fine, but it wasn't like crazy busy. Anyway, let's get into the rest of the things that I made. So, like I said, I started making a bunch of loaf cats. I did that, the calico one. And this pattern's from Annie Caraway. I think it's the mini one. It's a YouTube tutorial. So I did the calico, and then I did a tabby. And then I did, I don't know what color you want to call this, but it's in that same Bernat tweed that I use for my bearded dragons. Did one of these. And then this is the Torby. This is this is what one of our cats looks like. This is what Bee looks like. And unfortunately, I only have enough yarn to make one. So I'm only making one. I'm only making one of all of these, by the way. And then I did a cookies and cream one. And I wish I would have done his paws in white. I think that would have been really cute. Just, it's, I think this one's the typewriter tweeds from Bernat. I don't know. And then I started working on a tuxedo before I ran out of steam. I still have to do his tail, but I just did not even have it in me to do that. So I made, I'll have 6 in the mini size and then 3 in the bigger size. I might do one mini in black, just because I feel like I kind of maybe need to. I'm not sure yet. I don't know. And then I did a bunch of rats. I did the ivory and the white. And this one looks longer than the other one. I don't know. I may have skipped around. I'm not sure. But I did ivory and white. And then I've got 2 gray ones made already, I think. I don't even know. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make any more mice, but I do want to make some more gray. I'm going to do another. I do want to make some more rats. I want to do one in this color. And I've got, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm running out of steam, if you can't tell. I'm very tired. Yesterday I did like 2 rats and 1, 2, 3, 4 cats. We didn't have school yesterday, so I was actually able to work. But I was tired. I hit a wall and I just couldn't do any more. So I need to finish that one cat tail. And then I mentioned earlier in this video that I started doing the bigger bearded dragon. I've got his 4 legs made. I need to do his toes. We're going to the library today, so I think I might take my yarn with me and make his tail. And then that way I can hopefully finish his body today and have at least one done. Because I would love to have at least 2 in this color, since this was very popular. We will see. I also have to mail out that opossum that I made. I think I'm ready for this market to be over and just kind of take a break for a few days. Maybe not crochet anything. Yeah, right. Also, and you can probably tell, it's kind of rainy and overcast today. I did get my tent, or my canopy, whatever you want to call it. It is still in the box in the living room. I have not even been able to look at it. So in the next video, in my next vlog, which I will probably start recording later on today, we will hopefully have a chance to get that put up and check about the tent weight situation, because that's another thing that I'm stressing about. Oh, so I think with that, we're going to wrap it up because I've shown off everything I think that I've made. It was a rats and cats week. Come back next week because my next vlog will be my recap, the last remaining days of prep for my next market, which is May 9th. So I will see you guys next week. Thank you for hanging out with me, and come back to see how my next market went.